Hey, listen, I quit. Yeah, I'm going into stocks.
Name of the game. Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket. But if you can make your client's money at the same time, it's advantageous to everyone, correct? No.
No one is paying attention.
It's unbelievable.
Have to act now.
God, this is intimate. I feel like I'm financially inside of you or something.
Okay.
I have 5 houses and a condo.
I'm considering going long on April wheat. What do you think, Valentine?
Hi guys, welcome to the Greedy Trader channel. Well, I'm not exactly greedy, as most of you old watchers of the channel will testify. I have the most conservative approach to trading. It's just a nice parody idea from the Gordon Gekko mantra. There are only 2 kinds of traders, the greedy ones and the fearful ones.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
Those of you who are new to the channel, this is where you can learn how to really trade like a professional. Every video I make is packed with real examples with before and after scenarios, so you can see that it is simply a question of sticking with the plan and not changing it because you're having an emotional meltdown. No! Why is everyone blowing up? I think that's a question that I've been asking myself. You know, everywhere you look, people are out there saying that I just blew my account. This is terrible. I just don't know what to do and I need someone to help. I get these messages all the time. And I keep thinking to myself, why is everyone having this problem? Why is everyone blowing up? Thank you very much guys for being here and supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. I think you're here, if you're still listening to this, even a couple of seconds in, it's because you're probably asking yourself the same question, or you are asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Why am I the one who's having to go through this crazy ride that it doesn't seem like other people are going through when you look on social media? It looks like on social media everyone's making money, everyone is happy, and it's just a big ball. But you just blew up your account. If you haven't blown up your account, I'm sure there's someone out there telling you that at some point you're going to blow your account. I mean, I can't think of how many times I've seen a podcast where someone says, oh, I've blown 20 accounts. But look guys, I haven't blown any account. I've lost money. In some cases it might be a little painful, but I certainly haven't blown an account. So why are people blowing an account? Well, obviously everyone's gonna come to the conclusion it's over leverage and there is an element of taking responsibility. I get it, but everyone's gonna put the onus on you, and no one is gonna actually say that, well, if I'm mentoring someone, I should be talking to them about good risk management, right? And when I say risk management, I'm not talking about that 1 to 3, 1 to 2. I'm sure you don't want to hear anything about that. That's just, a 5-year-old could understand that they need to do that. So why am I going to waste my time talking to you about that? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the other kind of risk management. What do I mean? I'll give you an example. I had a couple of missteps this week. let's go on to my charts, because I like to kind of be real with you guys. I want you to understand that if you're going to succeed in this game, you have to stop listening to the people who keep telling you they're getting 50k, 100k, 20k days, and you have to start listening to the people who are just like you, ordinary traders like me, who have to do this every day, right? Who have to turn up and do this every day. I'm not saying we've got to trade every day. What I'm saying is that we have to turn up and understand the market every day so that we can do what it is we do, because that's who we are. We're traders. And there's no shame in it, right? But you're gonna have missteps. So I had a misstep this week, but I'll just run you guys through it. Right, so I was short the 126 calls, right? So I was short put option. I was short call options. Essentially, I was expecting the pound to stay under 126, right? That's the long and short of it. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but I was expecting the pound to stay under 126. Now, it might still stay under 126, but I am holding a March 7th, right? It's the 18th of February, so I've got a ton of time. As long as on March 7th, the pound, this contract expires with the pound under 126, I'm gonna make money. That's the idea. However, I sold these options when the pound was trading about 125, and now this is the bit where it's gonna get into the understanding of managing risk. Now, I'm diversified, right? So I will play out an idea in an option trade. I might play out an idea in a cash trade. I go with the option that is most capital efficient for me, right? So anyway, I decided to sell the 126 calls. I did this about 125. This creates a dilemma, right? Because the pound made a big jump last week into 126. And it went a little bit above 126 and then closed the weekend under 126. So this option is still out of the money, not a problem. But coming out of the weekend into President's Day, it's a holiday, right? So it's all of this should be good for me, right? There's time decay in this option. I've sold it, so I'm on the right side. But I'm looking at the charts, and I'm thinking that this pound's looking at 127, right? I don't like the look of it. Can also see on my profile that there's a gap in value. So there's a high likelihood that we're going to close this gap and we're going to trade a fair price. So the pound's probably going to be down. So this is all in my favor. But all of this has to happen in the space of about 2 weeks. I've got these till March 7th.
Are you ready to take your trading to the next level? Discover Atas, the professional trading platform designed to transform the way you see the market. Atas specializes in advanced order flow and volume analysis, giving you unparalleled insights into buyer and seller dynamics, so you can make confident data-driven decisions. With over 400 footprint configurations and 14 unique chart time frames, Atas allows you to eliminate market noise and focus on what truly matters. Access more than 240 indicators, including proprietary tools like Delta, Cumulative Delta, and Market Profile for deeper market insights. Trade seamlessly across 25 plus global stock, futures, and cryptocurrency exchanges, stable and secure connections. Simplify your trading with a user-friendly interface, one-click order execution, and automated exit strategies for maximum efficiency. Refine your skills with Market Replay. Practice strategies, test trading robots, and improve without risking real capital. Take full control of your trading with their extended API, enabling custom indicators and tools tailored to your strategy. Elevate your trading experience with Atas. See the market through the eyes of a professional. Sign up today, link in the description below, and take control of your financial future.
So I'm thinking to myself, that's a high likelihood that the pound's going to trade at least, even if it doesn't close under 126, it's going to trade at least a fair price in the next 2 weeks. But also, I called this too early. I started selling the 126 calls too early. I should have waited for us to get into 126. I should have probably sold the 127.50s or 128s. That would have been a better option. So I've messed up. I know I've messed up. I've been doing this for a long time, it's like 15 years, and I messed up, right? Never, it is what it is. So I'm a little bit edgy and a bit nervous. And as soon as I start to feel a bit edgy about a position, because I had a few contracts on these, and I didn't want it to trade the fair price, right? That's the benefit of having stuff like market profile, right? I didn't want it to trade a fair price. So I was like, well, I am going to risk manage this position because I got to. First and foremost, I think I need to cut some weight. I don't want it, right? I don't really think I want this trade anymore. I've had it for a little bit. I don't think I want it. Because if it was to trade up to 127, that's a 100 tick move on a cash position. It's not going to be a massive move, but the option should be about 130 ticks worth of premium, right? That's my estimate. But with time decay, it might be a little less. It might be about maybe 120 ticks, give or take, right? We can take a look at that anyway. So the risk on the trade now is starting to look a little bit big. I'm not going to blow up, but that's why I say, why is everyone blowing up? Like, because I know I won't blow up, but the risk on the trade is a little bit too much, right? It's changed, the dynamics have changed. And gaps can take a week or two to fill, so that can't be the only trade idea. And we got two naked fair prices, right? We'll call naked POC, but naked point of control. Two of them. So what do? Do I hold this trade and be stubborn? Like some people would do. They'll be stubborn. They cling into their idea. They really believe in the idea. They're just stubborn. Or am I going to get the hell out of this trade? I need to make a decision. So I made a decision. Decided I was going to get out of this trade. So this is what it looks like. And this is how I talk about risk management. Right? So I was short here. I'd averaged in. Right? So I was short at 40 ticks. I was short at about 64 ticks. Right, so I had an average somewhere about 50 to 54 ticks. So the position, or obviously I got two, scaled into this. It's a sell, it's a call sell. So I've got an average of about 54 ticks. Right, that's the value of what I'm holding. So 54, $6.25 per contract, 54 times $6.25. And then you multiply that obviously by the number of contracts you're holding. Pretty easy math. Now the implied volatility on this thing's gone up. Well, no, actually it hasn't gone up. So where are we? So if we go to the March 7th, it hasn't gone up. And then we go to the 126, they're in the money. Right, the IV 6.9%. It has gone up. It was about 6.7%, so it's gone up by 0.2%, so everything increased slightly. But as you can see, the implied volatility is quite low. So with all that price movement, remember I sold these, my first sale was 125. This thing is up 10, 20, 30 ticks. It's about 30 something ticks, that's all it's moved, right, from the options standpoint. So what have I done by making this position? I've absorbed a 1 point move in the cash, right? That's a 100 pip move. I've reduced that by 50 ticks by doing this trade as an option trade. This is the point I'm trying to get across about managing risk. So I know that I can still afford to take this to 127, right? It's just, I've got what we call delta risk. The delta is going to get higher the deeper in the money this thing goes towards 127, right? On the chain. So as 127 pushes into the money, I'm going to get higher deltas. So this option is going to get more and more expensive, right? So it was good when it was at the lower deltas, and now it's slightly 1 or 2 deltas in the money. I don't want to take the risk. It's 51 delta. It will soon be a 56 delta, 50 ticks in, right? Got to be conscious of that. 25 ticks in, sorry. And it will be like 61 delta, another 25 ticks in. So it's light at the moment. Even with the theta being applied, theta's only two ticks, right? So it loses about 2 pips a day. So there is some time decay element, but I don't want to get caught in this in a way that I'm going to feel uncomfortable. So I made a decision, right? I cut the trade roughly about 77 ticks, right? I covered it. So I was really underwater for 20 something ticks. That was it. Now, I can imagine the amount of people who got blown up on the move. I can imagine the amount of people who were trying to stay in the trade, probably still holding, getting their heads blown off. It must have been battle royale. But that's the point. It's because you don't know how to use other vehicles to manage risk. I chose to use FX options to manage this risk. And it's really easy to do. This is not like, I just know, right? And if I, when I work with clients and I try and mentor people, this is the stuff I try and introduce them to give them an edge, right? So that they're not sitting there thinking, oh yeah, just got to draw a couple of lines again and it's going to be okay. It probably isn't going to be okay. And how many people mentoring people out there are talking to people about these ways to reduce risk on a position, right? So even though I had what you would consider be a short idea on the pound, I was able to execute that with minimal risk. And when I came out of the trade, even though I felt the whole thing was a mess, bearing in mind this might still work out, we might close the gap this week, and then I'll be like, oh damn, I should have kept these options. But I don't think like that. Now there's something else I did, right? Now, because I knew I was going to be underwater on these for about 20 something ticks, I proceeded to take another decision. That was to offset this with a good performing stock that I bought that was doing pretty well. So sold it to offset the loss on that position. So I'm kind of neutralizing my portfolio, right? So that's the point of diversifying. So if you're trading, you need to understand different assets. You have to have a multi-asset approach. You just can't be just maybe trading FX and say, well, that's it. Or if you're trading futures, just one futures and that's it. You know what? It's okay if you can do it. Fantastic. But what happens when you're not diversified? Well, one goes down, and then that's it. You've got to eat the loss. What else are you going to do? On the flip side, if you're diversified, you've got a few irons in, well, one goes down, the other one might go up. You neutralize it. Let me show you. I was holding a defense stock called SA, right? You can see that here. So I just covered it. I had a good run on it. I bought it. It spiked on earnings. It was a play I was looking at. SA is a defense contractor with all the stuff that's going on. It's a good company to hold. And I was easily able to liquidate that to neutralize that position, right? That's an example of managing risk in a proper way. So even though it was a pickle, I had no reason to blow up. In fact, I was neutral. I didn't lose any money. You see? That's the point. I'm trying to just make the day, the week, the month be green. I'm trying for it not to be red. So that's what I did. I neutralized it. I'm going to have a green month. I know I'm going to have a green month because I've been doing pretty well. This was the pickle, and then I've neutralized it. So now I'm back to zero for this whole debacle, and I'm going to start another trend up. In order to even get into this position that you see here, there was a bit of a tangle. I had the 72.50s on PayPal. I was short puts. I had to cover those puts because I looked at it and I thought, I'm stretching myself a little bit on margins, right? I'm stretching myself, right? I'm holding too much weight. So what do? Cover it for a small profit, right? I'm sure, look where it is now. If I'd stayed short these puts, I'm making a killing, right? I would have been able to cover them into the weekend. And I would have been even in a much better position, but again, I wasn't comfortable with that. There's no reason for me to blow up. Why is everyone blowing up? So I adjusted, right? I sold, took very tiny profit just to cover the cost of that particular trade, right? So rather than stay with it, even though I knew it was going to work out, I decided that I was going to ease up, right? For those of you who don't understand what's going on here, is I sell premium, right? I sell premium for income, right? This is a much more lucrative way to make income. If your mentors ain't talking to you about this, then it's a problem, right? People who work with me, I try and help them. I try and help them get to where they need to get to. I'm not trying to, just do some fancy stuff, right? There's no point. We're all traders, and if you're talking to me, it's because you're struggling. If you're still watching this video, it's because you understand what I'm trying to say. Most people are left. If you're still here listening to me, I really appreciate you. I appreciate you understanding the time I'm taking to tell you this, and I guarantee you it will make an impact on your life as a trader. And I know for a fact that everyone I have helped appreciates it, and I believe I've made a considerable impact on their life just for what they tell me. So there's no question in my mind that I'm going to be able to make an impact on your life, but you got to open that door. You got to be open to the idea. You got to give up the stuff online that you see consistently, and you got to move more towards what works, right? And you have to find that edge where it can allow you to consider yourself a trader and look after the people that you care about. Yeah, I'm trying not to get mushy on you guys, but it's hard not to be emotional about stuff like this when you see so many people struggling and looking for an answer and they can't actually find that. So I'm trying to get everyone to that place. Like I said, just a humble trader. Anyway, so these are some of the tactical decisions that you got to make as a trader. It's just reality. It is just reality. So there's no reason for you to be blowing up.
Take your trading journal to the next level with TradeZella, the ultimate tool to transform your trading journey. Effortlessly log your trades with automated journaling, consolidating all your trading activities in one place, even if you have multiple accounts. Gain deep insights with over 50 detailed reports helping you identify strengths, weaknesses, and refine your strategies. Revisit and analyze your trades in real time with TradeZella's Trade Replay feature, pinpointing execution flaws and improving decision making. Develop and backtest your trading strategies, ensuring they're solid and tailored to your unique trading style. Transform your trading journey with TradeZella. Start today by clicking the link in the description below. This supports the channel and TradeZella. Do it now.
You see, one of the things that I really, really like about having the broad asset knowledge that I've got today, it took me a while to build that, and it also took me a while to understand that you need to have this, right? There is, people say sometimes in the comments that, is this the only way, or is there no other way to do it? There's multiple ways to skin the cat. No offense to cat lovers, right? Please, it's a figure of speech. I don't skin cats, you know, and all of that stuff. But there's multiple ways to come at this game, and that's perfectly fine. But there is that way that is a little bit easier to traverse. You just need to build up a big knowledge base, right? So the beauty, what I like about it is that I can see through trading something like options, for example, I can see where everyone's risk is, where the fear places. I'll give you an example. Look at AMD, the 105 strikes at the moment. These are out of the money puts, right? So it's 105 March 21st. I can see the risk on this, right? I can see that these premiums are pretty cheap, and if they spike, their first stop is going to be somewhere between $2.70 and $3, right? But there's a room due to its own volatility plane for this to spike to about $5.20. What's that telling me? It's telling me that if a little bit of a push here and there, AMD is going to get dumped pretty damn hard. Now, if I was holding AMD stock right now, if it was a long-term hold, great. If I was swing trading that, well, I'm going to be either looking at the exits if I'm up on that thing, because if we go to $5.20 on these premiums, it is implying that AMD is probably going to be, and these are March 21st, right? It's probably going to be about 106, 105. Right, on put options. That's what the premiums are going to be worth. So I know that since I don't want to sell puts down here, which means I don't want to be bullish on AMD down here, I know that I want to be bullish on AMD when the premiums are very expensive. So do you see how I'm building? I've already built a picture of the actual market, and I haven't looked at a single stock chart. I already know that it's a bit rocky up there, right? And keep an eye on it, guys. Keep an eye on it, and let's tell me again on Friday what it looks like for you. Right, so if there's a stock trader out here listening, that's my feeling about AMD when I look at the premiums. Do I get the same sense about PayPal? Right. I was bullish on PayPal when I saw those puts up here. Where do I think PayPal can go? Well, by trajectory, if we can't rebalance this, then potentially these puts are going to be about 48 cents. We had a similar story, right? For those of you guys who've seen earlier videos, when I was shorting Nvidia puts, I covered them a little bit early. I think I covered them about here, a little bit lower. No, what was it? No, it was about 80. I was covering them in the 80s. Right. In the end, they pushed into the 50s where I wanted to cover them. So at the end of the day, I took my gains where I could. I mean, I was selling these things pretty damn high, right? So, you know, it was good money. But I could have covered them at 50, right? So I can see that 50, again, it's a lot more risk now on Nvidia, right? Again, these premiums probably going to spike. So do I want to be long Nvidia now? Hell no. But I guarantee you, someone is going to be out there hitting that button for long, right? $140 Nvidia, not thinking that we're probably going to get a cutback. I don't even need to look at a chart, and that's the beauty about being a multi-asset manager. You understand everything. So you have access to play out your idea on different asset classes. But guys, this is just knowledge. Action's a completely different story. That's why I'm here, and I show you some of these positions that I do. And I show you the positions because I want you to understand that this is something everyone can do. It's not exclusive to me. I'm not, you know, I've had a lot of institutional background. I agree. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, But on the same token, I also know that were retail clients like you when I was in the space who were doing exactly the same thing. And they're making money hand over fist. But those guys ain't talking, they're not on YouTube. I ain't seen a single one. In fact, I don't even, it's like looking for needles in haystacks, trying to find people who are talking about what I'm talking about. So for YouTube algorithm, this is unique content. You're not going to see this everywhere. It's what it is. Same with market profile. You know, I've been talking to people about getting in using market profile. I developed my own software for MetaTrader because, you know, it's a money saver. I'm a trader. I'm a miser. I like to save money. And, you know, so I don't want to be spending it where I don't need to spend it. But, you know, now there's some really great tools for market profile if you want something a bit more agile. You know, we've got Atas, who's a sponsor of the channel. And guys, support the sponsors. It helps the channel. So support the sponsors. But, you know, I really appreciate it. I forgot to add that, sorry. I really appreciate it if you do. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. But again, I'm going to add support sponsors. But there are a lot of tools out there, right? So there's, of course, like I said, there's Atas, SEO charts, CQG. There's a bit more upscale, I'm afraid. So unless you're willing to spend a bit more of a buck, you might not go for those options. But I got my own. So anyone who wants to talk to me about that, I'll leave the Discord channel description below. So join, see what we do. All right, I've got the Discord where I support people where they need the help. My point is, if you need help, come to me. But all the information's there. Right? So join the Discord. Quiet bunch. We talk when we need to. Yeah, it's all business in there. I try and post up all the cool stuff. Anything that I see from a professional standpoint, I'll put it in there. Great place, great space to be, I like to think. Anyway, guys, I hope this makes a difference. There's no need for us to be blowing up. Till the next video, adios.
Hey, listen, I quit. Yeah, I'm going into stocks.
Name of the game. Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket. But if you can make your clients money at the same time, it's advantageous to everyone, correct?
No. No one is paying attention.
It's unbelievable.
Have to act now.
God, this is intimate. I feel like I'm financially inside of you or something.
Okay.
I have 5 houses and a condo.
I'm considering going long on April wheat. What do you think, Valentine?